Hey everybody, a brand new movie that will be dropping on August 14th, Friday, as a streaming video on demand feature. We are going to be talking about a little movie called Spree. Now, that's spree as in killing spree, but in the movie, Spree is the name of an Uber like driver service. They call it Spree, so kind of a double meaning there. This is directed by Eugene Kothyarenko. I don't know any of the movies this person has directed before this. I think this is probably their biggest release so far based on the cast. And I'm guessing this will get a bit of buzz. The main character is Kurt, and he has his own kind of YouTube slash viral thing he's trying to work on. He calls Kurt's World. It's played by Joe Keery, who you probably know best as Steve on Stranger Things. So he's definitely the kind of the star of this movie. You also have character Jessie Adams, played by Sashir Zamata. She was on Saturday Night Live. She's a comedian. She's been in a bunch of stuff. You also have Kurt's dad, Chris, played by David Arquette in a few scenes. You also have Kyle Mooney, Misha Barton as some of the more famous people that pop up in this movie. Now, at the very beginning, you get a bunch of clips, viral clips. A lot of this is one of those screen movies. So a movie where it's not really per se found footage, but it's all footage shot as part of this person's life. And in this case, he's trying to be a social media influencer, so he's shooting everything on video in one form or another. You get a bunch of clips of stuff he's done in the past, and you get a feeling he's basically been trying for 10 years to go viral and to be big, and he's never done much of anything. So he's kind of the loser that's trying to make it in the viral world. His name, once again, is Kurt Kunkel. I feel like this is probably a nod to the King of Comedy, which is kind of one of the originators of this sort of thing, kind of the loser that wants to make it and become, instantly famous and thinks he's, got a lot to offer more than the world does. And that was Rupert Pupkin, of course, in the King of Comedy. Now, basic concept is, near the beginning of this, he decides he's going to become famous for... while he's on his route doing, his Uber pickups, I should say Uber, spree pickups, he has basically rigged all of these water bottles with poison, and he's going to slowly go on a killing spree, and it's going to make him go viral. Now, not really a spoiler. This is in the first maybe 10 minutes. That's kind of the basic concept of the movie. And you slowly start to see, how he's going to start picking people up. The people he picks up are a lot of them are caricatures of the type of annoying, modern society, LA people that you might get in Uber, various types of people that just kind of either treat him like shit or are self-obsessed, or all of these kind of, stereotypes of the kind of annoying, well-to-do people that would basically not pay any attention to a person who's their driver, that they've called to come pick them up. So how this movie basically works, it's really designed as a comedy and a social satire. It's got a lot of elements that are trying to make it comedic. It has a very kind of a relatively light tone for a movie that's about someone going on a murder spree on social media. Definitely very touchy to do because people have done similar things in real life, which are obviously not comedy. I guess my basic problem with this movie is it isn't anything enough. And what do I mean by that? It isn't funny enough. It's not shocking enough. It's not violent enough. It's not anything enough. If a movie like this, if it's going to be a biting satire, needs to be all in one direction or another. It can't be kind of a PG-13 version of this kind of movie. No, it isn't PG-13. This is R-rated, I believe. I actually didn't check, but I think from what happens in it is R-rated, but it still pulls its punches a lot on the violence, which is kind of the point of this movie. So I guess I kept thinking of something like Natural Born Killers, made, over 20 years ago? Very similar subject, right? Becoming viral in the world for being, violent and on a killing spree, even though back then it wasn't social media exactly. In that case, it was, TV and videotape and radio and stuff like that that was making them famous. Where you have the extreme excess of style and violence in Natural Born Killers, which kind of elevates it and lets you either love it or hate it. But that's the whole point. Loving it or hate it means it actually brings something seriously extreme to the table for you to access. Here, I feel like everything is half measures, and that just makes it not very effective in any way. That's my problem with it. It's not very funny. It's not very violent. It's not very scary. It's not very shocking. It's just middle of the road. And actually, for a movie that I just described, it shouldn't be boring. It's not very long. It's him running around, killing all these people and having this, kind of crazy night of increasing insanity. And it's kind of boring. I kind of was not very interested in it. And that's the death knell of a movie like this. So once again, I wouldn't say it's horrible. You can go in and have a good enough time, but I wouldn't run out to see it. I wouldn't pay money to see it. I might watch it if it was just streaming on one of the free services. It's a give it or take it kind of movie. So that being said, that's what I give Spree. I mean, if I were to rate it, I don't know, 2.5 stars probably. Nothing spectacular. Hopefully I have something better for you next time. Talk to you soon.